I'm going to a location in Southern California in Los Angeles County, which is, here's Los Angeles. I'm going to go north of Los Angeles. We're going to the city or the town of Santa Clarita right here. And just to the west of Santa Clarita is this location right here. And the name of this location used to be Indian Dunes Ranch. It was a filming location that was used for numerous movies and TV shows in the 70s and 80s. At that time, the owners that owned this area were making as much as $600,000 a year renting it out as a film location to production companies. But in 1990, they turned it back into farming land due to the fact that the type of filming location they offered was no longer desired by Hollywood filmmakers. And you can see here, it's once again, it's all farmland. Now, during my search, someone posted that the accident that killed actor Vic Morrow, 7-year-old Micah Dinley, and 6-year-old Renee Shin-Yi Chen happened in either this location right here or this location right here. But that's not where it happened. It actually happened right about here, to be exact. The exact spot was roughly right in here. And this is how I know that. In my search, I found this old YouTube clip right here that was made the morning after the accident. Now, the accident happened approximately 2 a.m. in the morning, Friday, it was Friday about 2 a.m. in the morning, July 23rd, 1982. So as soon as the sun came up and people heard about it, the news helicopters were out there. And this news clip was very important in helping me find the exact location. Now I'm going to show you why. First, I'm going to go back here to Google. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this to about right here. And then I'm going to come down closer to the ground, roughly right in, maybe right there. Maybe rotate it a little more, a little less actually, right about here. Slide that over. So roughly right about here. I'm going to go back to the clip, and you can see, in this clip, you can see the Santa Clara River. The helicopter that crashed is actually right up in here, and the movie set that they built for this Twilight Zone movie was right here. Now, you can see the cliff, and above the cliff you have this plateau. And what's important, what helped me identify this location precisely, is if you can look up here on the plateau, you see the shape of the plateau up here on this angle. Now, if we go back to Google Earth, you can see right here, here's the location where they built the scene, and this is the plateau, and right here is that little angle right there. You can see. Now back at the clip, also above that angle from this old film clip, you can see these trees here, and you can see they kind of go up in this direction, but they're separated by this piece of land here. And if we go up here like this, you can see there's the trees, and they go up here, and then there's that piece of land right about in here that separates them. So, another thing I noticed in this old film clip is right here, you can see this piece of earth where it kind of comes up and over, and then it has this little cut right here along the river. Well, that would be this piece right here from Google Earth, and that's it there. Another one that I noticed is right about here. You can see the beginning of that road that runs up on the other side of this little hill here, and then runs up through this little gully. And back at Google Earth, you can see the road right here, and it runs up through there. Now, I don't have the exact perfect location that the helicopter had, but that's pretty close, and you can see the evidence that with this here and this here and the road and the trees matching all of this stuff right here, the movie location is in here, and you can see this piece that comes out here. There's a little concave crevice in there that they built the set on, and that would actually be right in here, this piece here, and the river runs right through here. Now, I'm going to let this clip play, and I'm going to pause it as we go along. So here it is playing. It's we're getting closer. They're zooming in, and I'm going to stop right about here. Now what you can see here is the helicopter. It had crashed. It was mostly upside down after the accident. The other thing I want to point out to you is this thing right here is a makeshift dam that the movie crew put there to get this stream, they call it a river, but it's more like a big stream, to pool and make it look more like a swampy area right here. The movie set is right here. You can see the dark spots where they had the explosions. You can see this right here, which is actually a little boat, and that's the boathouse. Here's a little dock right here. And this section right here is the little building that Vic Morrow and the two children came out of and started walking across this way. And they were right about here when the helicopter rotor struck them and killed them. One of the things that I learned is that this helicopter was a Huey, the same type of Huey helicopter that was used in the Vietnam War. And these things from the nose to the tail are 57 feet long. So from here to here is actually 57 feet. Now if you measure from here to here using the length of this helicopter, I figured out that from about this section here, right about to the spot where Vic Morrow was killed, along with the two children, is about 170 feet. So if we come back here and we kind of rotate again, we can try to find the location. I'm going to come up here, just trying to rotate it a little so we can get a better angle. And I'll say right roughly here. So that little boat was about right in here. The little boathouse was here. They had the little hut that Vic and the two children came out of, and they were kind of walking in this direction, and then there was the dock up here. Now if I use this tool that Google Earth has, we can go from this section here roughly, and we can go out about 170 feet, which is right about here. So that would give pretty much as precise a location as we can get. It's roughly right in here. I mean, Google Earth doesn't come straight down on top of it that I can tell, so it's hard to get the perfect angle, but roughly right in here is where that helicopter actually hit the ground, and it's right in this location roughly where Vic Morrow and those two children were unfortunately killed. So I'm going to rotate this back around, and so you can see, so it's roughly right in here if we go out. So I'm going to say right about in here is the actual location. Now if you go back up, you can see where somebody said it could have been here because there's cliffs here, or it could have been here because there's cliffs here, but the actual cliff is, let's go to the other side here, turn it 180. The actual cliff is right here between these 2 points, right here. So straight out from here, let's see if this will work from this angle. I'm going to go straight in here and come out 170 feet, right about there. And you can see, so it points to right about in here where that unfortunate accident happened. So I'm going to get rid of this. So once again, you can see the helicopter lying right here in a big pool of water because of this little dam that they put up to make it look more like it was in Vietnam in a swampy area. I'm going to let this play a little, go forward. We can get a closer look. I can pause it right there so you can see this is all water right here. Everything is underwater. Now I'm going to show you a picture. Now before I show you the picture, I want you to notice that this helicopter is mostly upside down. So obviously this is before the FAA and the NTSB got their National Transportation Safety Board arrived to examine the accident. So you can see the water, it's flooded. Now I'm going to show you this picture here. It's a very important picture because here's the helicopter. Obviously this is after the FAA and the NTSB got there because they had to examine the helicopter. They flipped it back over. You can see the damage here where it was kind of laying partially upside down right in here, which means that when it was laid over, the tail was over here. That means Vic Morrow and those children were probably killed roughly in this area right here. They were coming out of this hut, walking across this way, and were struck right about in here. Now, in the clip, in the old news clip, you can see that this is all underwater, but in this photo, you can see that this here is a sandbar and that the water's gone, and that this man right here is crossing that little shallow stream, and you can see his feet might be in 2 or 3 inches, maybe 4 inches of water at most. So it's very, very shallow. It's more like a wide stream that's 1 to 4 inches deep, and that's why they ended up building the dam to make it look more like a swamp. So you can see here, this is what it looked like after they took the dam away, and after the FAA and the NTSB started examining the helicopter. Now back here at Google, you can see the river meanders all through here. Back then, when it ran through here, it just kind of went straight and went through this area, but as time goes on, it changes directions. So I'm going to take this back north, and here it is once again, roughly right in this general area is the exact location where Vic Morrow and 2 young children had that horrible accident that ended their lives prematurely, which was devastating to 3 families, the Morrow family and the 2 families of those poor innocent children.